Siona Sammartino, a Bastyr University graduate and a nutrition and culinary educator. If you're in a rut with your veggie routine or simply looking for a tasty whole foods recipe, then join me today as I show you how to make braised Napa cabbage. So with braising, what you want to do, it's a really great way to tenderize any vegetable you're working with. And we're going to get our pan, we have a 12-inch cast iron skillet, on about medium to medium high heat. And we're going to add some oil and an aromatic. Napa cabbage is an Asian green, and so I like to pair it with more traditional Asian oil, which is an unrefined sesame oil. Once your pan is hot, you're going to add 1 to 2 tablespoons of this unrefined sesame oil. You want enough of that oil to coat the bottom of the pan. Then for a braise, you want to choose an aromatic, which essentially is a vegetable from the onion family. Today we're using a green onion because it's going to cook up so fast. The bottoms of the green onion are the part you want to cook, whereas the tops, the more tender tops, are used more like a fresh herb. They would brown and mush up if we added them too early in the cooking process. So let's go ahead. I had 5 of these green onions that I cut up, and I'm going to add the bottoms to the pan. And we want the oil hot enough so that they can start to sizzle. And with the browning process, we're not going to take this to a complete caramelization. Instead, we're just going to lightly get it golden brown. And what this does is it brings out the sweetness of our onions. So delicious. So you want to cook these for about 5 minutes. We want to turn our heat up a little bit here. We want a little more action in our pan. And actually the trick to browning these is to not go crazy stirring them. The sugars don't come out if you constantly move them, so you need to just let them hang out and do their job. All right, our next step of our braising process, once our aromatic is lightly golden brown, is to add our cabbage. I have 1 medium head of cabbage, and it makes about 8 to 9 cups. So you want to get it in the pan. Looks like a lot, but it's going to shrink down quite a bit. And then you just want to toss it to coat it with the oil, and you want to turn the heat down. The next step of a braise is to add some kind of flavorful cooking liquid. Today we're going to use a combination of white wine and water, just 1 tablespoon of each. So let's go ahead and get 1 tablespoon of white wine and 1 tablespoon of water down over our cabbage. And of course we need sea salt to really enhance those flavors. We're going to add 1/4 teaspoon of sea salt, and we may add more later to taste. Just stir that up. And now this is going to take only about 3 minutes for our cabbage to braise on low heat. So cabbage is the best food source of a nutrient called glutamine. And glutamine is something that works to fuel and repair our intestines. It's pretty unique in that way. So we love this cabbage for that reason, in addition to its nice crunch and flavor. All right, so our cabbage has braised for 3 minutes, and you're going to see that it decreased in volume. Looks nice and tender. We're going to turn off our heat, and the last couple of steps here are that we want to finish our dish with a couple of teaspoons of brown rice vinegar to pop the flavors and add a bright quality. So I'm just going to go ahead and add a couple of teaspoons of my vinegar. And I love to add fresh herbs to also pop my flavors, and since we used the bottoms of the green onions, why not go ahead and use the tops? They work really well as more of a fresh herb. Let's go ahead and add that. This is just from the 5 green onions that we used from earlier. And for a little extra taste and crunch, We're gonna garnish this dish with a couple of tablespoons of toasted almonds that I've chopped up here. So we'll go ahead and add those here. All right, so let's plate our braised Napa cabbage here. So delicious and nutritious. And I'm gonna top it off with a little more of my almonds. So now that you know how to make this tasty, nutritious, and easy braised Napa cabbage, you're only one bite away from radiant health. I'm Siona Sammartino. Thanks for joining me in the Bastyr kitchen. I'll see you next time.